everybody, my name's Helicow Gaming, and welcome to my Legion Dungeon previews. I have just joined a group for the Halls of Valor. I will be healing this run on my Mistweaver Monk, and the group has just locked me out. So this is a great start to this run. Another example of tanks in Legion not fully paying attention to what's going on with the healer. Unfortunately, it's a sad habit that I seem to have come across. I'm hoping the group is going to be able to get this boss down even without me, though the tank has died nice and early.
Drake Riders, I call upon blood of the unworthy.
This is my first decent video, so please feel free to leave in the comments any thoughts, suggestions, and theories on what I could do better, because I'm always looking to improve.
The blood of the unworthy will go it ends. The unworthy vanquished.
So hopefully this time they won't start the boss without the healer, and we can actually get a decent preview of the run going. So as some of you might know, there has been some major changes to the way Mistweaver Monks have worked for Legion. They have basically redesigned the entire healing system. So instead of blanketing the whole group with renewing mists and spamming revive to keep everyone topped up, you've now got to be a bit more active in direct healing. You have two main direct healing spells. The first one is a fuse. Don't know if you can see the tooltip there, but a fuse is a fast, efficient spell healing the target for 28,000 health points. It costs 12,800 mana, so it is a fast and cheap heal. Your next main one is Vivify. Now this one's interesting because it causes a surge of invigorating mists around the target, healing them and their two nearest injured allies for 40,000. So it heals for more than a fuse, but it does cost more than twice as much. And with the removal of Spirit from the game, it makes mana management just that much more important. Another change that they've made is that renewing mists now is on an 8-second cooldown with only one use, which means you can't blanket it across the raid. You've got to be very careful with it. However, it is now what they call a smart heal, and what that means is that instead of overhealing when it's on a target, if the target reaches full health, what it will do is automatically top up that target. Once it reaches full health, it'll jump to another player who is in need of the healing. And finally, they've changed Enveloping Mists. So Enveloping Mists is now on a 1.75 second cast time, adjusted by haste. It wraps the target in a healing mists, healing for 187,000 over 7 seconds, and increasing the healing received from my other healing spells by 40%. The other interesting change that they've made is that Soothing Mist is no longer a castable spell. So what happens is if you cast a direct heal like Enveloping Mists, Vivify or a Fuse, you will automatically start channeling Soothing Mist, and Soothing Mist no longer costs any mana. Looks like this group has completely fallen apart, and I've hit some fantastic timing as server is going to restart in 12 minutes. So fantastic. Uh, Now there are some other new spells that they've added to Mistweaving Monks. So the first one that they've added is Essence Font. It unleashes a rapid twirl of healing bolts at up to 6 allies within 25 yards every 1 second for 2.6 seconds. Each bolt heals the target for 17,000 plus an additional 6,700 over 6 seconds. So basically, this is a very expensive and, in my opinion, a very ineffective group heal. Uh, it's just um, sorry, in my experience, I've been better off casting a couple of Vivifies, which have been able to top up 3 targets more effectively than using Essence Font, which hits everybody in the 5-man group, but doesn't heal enough to really cover you in the danger moments. Now everyone's favourite raid cooldown, Revival, needs a serious buff. It still heals all party and raid members within 40 yards and clears all harmful magical, poison and disease effects, which is fantastic. But with the current size of health pools, it doesn't heal for enough. It seems to heal for only a fraction more than what it did in Draenor. Now I know I'm only 105, so that's only 5 levels higher than what I was in Draenor, but considering that at 105 I have an 835,000 hit point health pool, and it's only healing for 100k, it's not enough. It's not enough to save everybody in those dangerous situations. So I've put through a notice to Blizzard suggesting that be buffed in some way. Just the amount healed needs to go up to make it effective like it was. Now, another interesting ability that they've added, which actually comes through under talents, is Invoke Chi-Chi, the Red Crane. Now, this is a fantastic talent, and it is just unmatched by anything else in the talent trees for what it does for the raid or your group. So you summon an effigy of Chi-Chi, the Red Crane, for 45 seconds. Chi-Chi heals nearby allies with Crane Heal for 25,447. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but it's out there for 45 seconds. It seems to heal every second, and it just darts around the battlefield, topping people up, the lowest health people up as it goes. It's a fantastic one button press, and off it goes, and it keeps everybody up and alive and fighting fit. I haven't found a more effective talent. Now, the only other talent that I think is really noteworthy is Zen Pulse. Now, you trigger a Zen Pulse around an ally, dealing 31,000 damage to all enemies within 8 yards of the target, and the ally is healed for 28,000 for every enemy damage. Now, this is fantastic if you get it your tank pulling large groups, especially because when they pull large groups and their health cart's getting really low, it's instant cast, and if it hits 10 targets, it's healed for 280,000 on an instant cast. Now, this is fantastic, and I can't say how many times it has legitimately saved the life of my tank in some of these 5-man dungeons where you get people pulling additional mobs when you really just don't need to. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go through that dungeon because the server's shutting down, resetting, and everyone left. So we'll wait for restart, and I will start recording again. Now, The next thing I thought I'd talk about is Shaylin, Staff of the Mist. This is the artifact weapon for Mistweavers. Uh, as a base ability that you get from Shaylin, so as you heal, you start generating these clouds of mists, and they just sort of float around you, and they stack up to 12. So what happens is you can then use Shaylin's Gift the spell, and this will heal the target for 28,000 per cloud. Now I've had this critically heal for 1.9 million. And I can't tell you how fantastic it is to have this little pocket heal. It's 1.75 second cast, adjusted by haste, so it's very useful to stack a bit of haste to get this one off quicker. But you get a tank or a raid member, singular, whose health is getting quite low, and you cast this ability, and bam, just right back up to full. It's such a handy spell. Uh, So basically, that's just a quick rundown of the noteworthy abilities from the Mistweaver Monk that I've encountered so far. Now, granted, I'm only level 105, I've still got 5 levels to go and quite a bit more to experience within the beta. But from what I've found and what I've been doing, I've found that healing as a Mistweaver Monk, even though the changes seemed really scary, has turned out to be a really enjoyable challenge. Now, 5-mans have become so much easier to heal. I am really looking forward to stepping into a raid to test out Mistweaver healing properly and see how it handles, 10 to 25 people, even up to 30. So I have a few reservations about how it's going to go, as mana management is quite difficult at the moment, as I mentioned earlier. They've removed Spirit from the game, which is just ridiculous if you ask me. But hey, it is what it is. Blizzard trying to simplify things. We take it as it comes. So you're stuck with a base mana regen of 25,600 per 5 seconds. I'm assuming that's in combat. It doesn't specify. Uh, so, and then you've got a fixed mana pool. So with your spells costing so much mana and being on such a quick cast time, when you need to top up a lot of people really quickly, you do chew through the mana very, very fast. I'm still fiddling around with things to work out the best way to run it. I will continue to post videos throughout the remainder of the beta and through Legion itself. I do apologise for all the I'm getting used to this, and this is completely unscripted. So thanks for tuning in, and when the server comes back, I'll be posting a second video as I go through to preview all of the Legion 5-man dungeons and into raids, hopefully pre-launch. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.